To other news now, in the final of a two-part Primetime News in Focus report, Krista Campbell looks at the challenges the authorities face in catching those who do dynamite fishing and the plans to address the situation.
The Marine Police is working night and day. We are working night and day as wardens in order to catch at least one, because when we do, we're going to make sure that we use that person as an example to the rest.
Waldeck Christos manages the Bluefields Fish Sanctuary in Westmoreland. He says there's been an over 500% increase in fish, lobsters and other marine animals since the sanctuary was established in 2009. But one illegal activity is threatening to drown all that success: dynamite fishing. TVJ News was told the perpetrators are mostly from the Westmoreland capital, Savannah Lamar, and from all accounts are hard to catch red-handed.
What we are learning is that persons who have the license to use the dynamite, some persons, they are making it available to the fishers. The fishers would then use it and provide them with some fish.
Mr. Christos says fishers report hearing dynamite explosions at least every 2 months, and he relays the information to the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, as well as the National Fisheries Authority, NFA. The Marine Police also help game wardens patrol the waters for the illegal activity, but
whenever the Marine Police is heading in their direction and they see them coming, they would throw the dynamite overboard. And take markings, and then after the boat is gone, they go back and dive it up.
Surveillance technology is also not much help in catching the perpetrators.
Remember now that all that is happening is really underwater. So even if you use a drone, you're not going to see the actual thing which is happening.
Now, the negative impacts of overfishing and other fishing practices on marine life cannot be overstated. But there's concern about the threat of illegal activities like dynamiting on human life. As I found out, spearfishers, scuba divers and regular divers have found themselves almost in the direct line of fire as recently as a few months ago. Richard Duval is a diver and underwater photographer in Westmoreland.
I've heard clicks under the water, don't know where direction it's coming from, but it's really a scare, because to think that, you really hear it very close, and to think you don't know which direction it's coming from, and something like that is happening when we are doing like ecotourism in the water.
Ecotourism, meaning he takes certified tourists on dives and excursions underwater. He explains that systems are in place to prevent such close calls from happening.
Spear fishermen know that once they're going out, they should have some kind of signal device once they're going out, so they can be, the boaters can be aware that somebody is below, as well as scuba divers. They travel with a signal device, and within that area, there's generally a boat there that is receiving the divers. So fishermen would not necessarily fish in that vicinity.
Howard Bromfield is the Regional Extension Officer at the National Fisheries Authority. He says the NFA's priority is to educate and sensitize persons about why illegal activities like spearfishing are damaging to the environment. He explains prosecution is a last resort, but he stressed that dynamite fishing is also a danger to those doing the illegal activity.
They can lose an arm, they can lose their lives, they can become maimed by using dynamite, especially if they're not trained to using it.
Fishers themselves can't get it to buy, but the licensed persons are the ones that we need to now educate more.
Mr. Christos wants to see more training so that,
for instance, we could go to a boat and identify what dynamite fish is like, and as long as scientifically we can prove it, we should be able to use it in court, and I think that is going to really deter them.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.